how little education we all have, and I'm a pretty privileged, educated person in the country.
Yes, it is rather unusual. I'm also surprised to hear that a film has been denied certification. That is extremely, extremely unusual and perhaps unprecedented. So if that's happening, that's very unfortunate. And certainly we should come together and approach the authorities, which we believe will listen to reason.
Aamir, on a lighter note, on a lighter note, I'll be asking you this question. You said because Kiran liked the film and you had to see it. What are the other things that Kiran likes and you cannot refuse her?
There is no such thing that I cannot refuse. That I can refuse, rather.
On your fingertips, could you name them? Like?
What are the things I can't refuse? Well, actually, Kiran is a lovely person. Yeah, it's very difficult to refuse her.
Definitely, yeah.
It's extremely difficult to refuse anything she says. So I quite enjoy listening to her, actually, because most of the time it's for my own good.
Hi, good evening. My question is for Kalki. What do you take back from the journey of Laila, being with the character for so long, portraying it?
Well, before I started the film, I knew nothing about cerebral palsy except for one film I'd seen, My Left Foot by Daniel Day-Lewis. And it opened my eyes to how little education we all have. And I'm a pretty privileged, educated person in the country. And I have had very little exposure to how to be around somebody who's disabled, to know, just basic, how do you behave around them? You feel awkward, you don't know what to ask them, and things like that. So this whole process really opened my eyes, meeting Malini Chib, who's Shonali's cousin, and who has cerebral palsy. And then going to adapt and working there. It just made me realize, the basics of human, that we're all human beings and that we need to understand each other, and the only way to do that is to ask questions and talk to each other face to face. And this film really, what I love about this film is it doesn't take disability or sexuality and make it this big issue. It says this is how life is. So what? Get on with it. You still get on with life. And Laila's character has this sort of beautiful sense of life and, a way of, getting up every time and making a joke out of things. And that's something that Malini Chib also really has in her life. And I think she was a huge inspiration for Shonali and for me, just because, this attitude, which you see already in the trailer, but you'll see a lot more in the film, of, Laila's love for life, basically. So, yeah, I learned a lot from the film.
हमें बीजेपी लीडर प्राची साध्वी ने खान्स की फिल्म
I think आज हम लोग मार्गरेटा के बारे में बात करें, क्योंकि वरना टॉपिक यहाँ वहाँ चले जाएगा, है ना?
ओके सॉरी, उन्होंने खान्स की फिल्म ना देखने की मांग की है, इस पे व्हाट्स योर टेक ऑन इट?
I think I'd like to answer questions about Margarita. Otherwise, I'm here to support the film. I really feel that we should talk about the film. और भी मौके होंगे ये सब बातें करने के लिए.
I just wanted to ask, because the film has already been released abroad, and I believe, it has gone to the film festivals, and must be in the process of getting properly released in various other markets, overseas markets. Now they also have a certification system. How do you think, what kind of certification do you expect for the film in the US markets, for instance? Has it been released in the US market by any chance?
No, not yet. But there, of course, it's just a rating system. But I wouldn't expect an R. R is the equivalent of the A certificate here. I don't think it would be an R rating.
R is not equivalent to A certificate here. Actually, 17 plus is equivalent to A certificate here. But then there have been films like, Blue is the Warmest Color. They have not been released. They are also about lesbian relationship. It is a Palme d'Or winner film at Cannes, but it hasn't been released in US. It is not getting any certification.
Yeah. So let me just clarify.
Is that because of certification?
Yeah, they also have this rating system which is akin to certification in the sense that unless you have certain ratings, suppose you have above 17 rating, cinema halls won't allow non-adults to enter the cinema hall. They enforce it very strictly. Not the way we do it here, where even the kids can go in for adult cinema and nobody stops them. So they're very, very strict about this. The exhibitors in US and everywhere, whatever is my experience, and I have some experience in this area, they're very, very strict about it.